Okay, so the topic that we are going to discuss now is the SWOT and TOWS matrix. I hope you guys have no question regarding the previous topics that we have covered. This topic is very simple, and if I talk about the importance in the exam, first of all, TOWS matrix has never been asked, if I remember correctly, up till now. It can be asked in the future. SWOT analysis they have asked, but to be honest, SWOT analysis is something that you guys have already covered like number of times, so not it is not something that is too difficult for you guys. SWOT analysis damn too simple. Now if we start with the SWOT analysis, everyone, what is SWOT analysis is all about? SWOT analysis talks about strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. Basically, it is a strategic planning tool that examines both the internal and external factors affecting an organization. Now, what are the internal and external factors, everyone? Strength and weaknesses are internal factors. Opportunities and threats are external factors. Now, SWOT analysis. Okay, SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis. The heading, let me make it red. Not very small. Now, the very first thing that we have in the SWOT analysis. First of all, we will be discussing the internal factors. Internal factors mean there are two factors. We have strengths and weaknesses. Now, when I talk about the internal factors, guys, you will be talking on more onto the factors which the company have internally. Now, strengths the company will have internally. The weaknesses the company will have it internally. Now, what could be the strength? The core competencies, the resources, the management, the skills, the USP of the company. It could be technological advancements. It could be the patents that they have. All of these are an example of the strengths of the company. The second thing that we have is regarding the weaknesses. Now, when I talk about the weaknesses, everyone, over here, weaknesses in the internal system of the company. Weakness can be in the within the company. What are the problems that the company is facing? It could be the resource limitation. It could be the management incompetency. All of these. Okay, I have not shared the screen. Well done, guys. You have not even let me know. That's great. So, SWOT analysis. Internal factors, strengths and weaknesses. Weaknesses, it could be the resource limitation, the operational inefficiencies, market vulnerability, or any other competitive disadvantage that the company is facing. It could be the skill gap as well. Correct. Skill gap is also a part of the problem because the company does not have skilled employees, which possesses a very huge problem at the current scenario. The companies are not getting employees which have that kind of skills. That is why I keep on telling you guys to upgrade your skills, to work on your curriculars a lot, because working on your curriculars is one of the best thing that you guys can do for yourself for the time being. Then we come to the weaknesses part. Now, when I talk about the weaknesses, it could be like resource limitation, it could be operational inefficiencies, it could be market vulnerability, competitive disadvantage, and skill gap. So these are the problem regarding the internal. So if I talk about internal factors, you need to talk about, first of all, identify from the case only. Okay, internal factors you have to take care of. You have to talk about things that will be identified in the case only. You have to identify strengths, you have to identify weaknesses. Then you talk about external factors, you talk about opportunities and threats. Now, over here in the external factors, you can use the case. You are not supposed to identify from the case. Use the case to come up with certain opportunities and threats that the company might have to face. Over here, external factors, we have to go through the external factors. Now, what could be the opportunities? Opportunities can talk about a new market. They can talk about the market growth, the increase in the market share, changes in the government, changes in the political stability, or changes in the regulation, the laws, partnerships, all of these are the opportunities. Now, threats, it could be the competitive pressure, the legal system, political instability, technological disruption. All of these are called as threats. So, SWOT is something that we guys have already done like number of times. So, it's not that we have to worry much onto the SWOT part. The next metric, that is the TOWS matrix. Although TOWS is generally not asked in the exam, generally the TOWS matrix has never been asked, but it's good to have an understanding of what is the TOWS matrix all about. Correct. It is a very good idea to have an understanding what is the TOWS matrix is all about. Understanding the TOWS matrix will give you a good understanding onto the part of the okay. Will give you a good understanding and how to use. Now, certain times what happens, the company asks you for the SWOT analysis. Basically, this is a tool which is developed using the SWOT analysis only. So company gives you a case on the SWOT analysis and ask you for your recommendations. So in this, what we are supposed to use? We are supposed to use our strength to dive in an opportunity. We are supposed to remove our weaknesses to pursue the opportunities. We are supposed to use our strength to minimize the returns. Sorry, to maximize the returns. And we have to talk about the defensive strategies as well. So first of all, we have to use SOWO, ST, and WT. These are the four things. SOWO, ST, WT. These are the four things. Always remember that. That is the TOWS matrix is all about. Okay, you have to take the odd ones and even ones. T and W will be together. TW and TS. TW and TS. OS will be together. Okay, so this is how you will remember. So strength, use internal strength to capitalize on external opportunities. You can talk about how you can use your internal strength to go into the new markets, how you can expand the market, develop strategies, product development. All these things you can discuss in the SO part. How you can use your strength to capitalize the external opportunities. The second one that we have is the WO, that is weaknesses, opportunities. How you will overcome the internal weaknesses to pursue opportunities. That is the second part. How you will be using your weaknesses, overcoming the weaknesses. Okay, how you'll be removing your weaknesses to avail opportunities. Over here, you can talk about the capability building, strategic partnerships, resource acquisition. All of this can be a part of your weakness and opportunities. The third one that we have is the strategy regarding strength to threat. Use your strength to minimize the external threats. How you can use your strength to minimize external threat or counter the threats. Now, let's say I'll talk about a brand like Tata. It is a very diversified brand. Due to it, what happens? A new entry to any of the market does not pose a very significant threat to Tata because they have a very good competitive positioning as well, and they are also innovation driven. So these are the certain strengths that they use to minimize the threat. After that, we have weakness and threat. Now, defensive strategies to protect against threats while addressing weaknesses. You have to talk about the defensive strategies to protect against threats while addressing the weaknesses. Or you have to remove your weaknesses to avoid threats. Simple language. Remove your weakness to avoid threat. You can talk about cost reduction, strategy retreat, restructuring. All of these are a part of your weaknesses. Now, the suggestion that you will be giving, it will depend on to the case. What is required as per the case. Otherwise, you're not supposed to write down anything. Now, one more thing is how to know if TOWS matrix is required? How will we get to know if the TOWS matrix is required? Yes, it is not given over here. How do we know that? You will be required to do SWOT analysis first. First of all, you'll be required to do a SWOT analysis, or SWOT might be given. And then you only need to link them to come up with TOWS matrix. So this is how you will be writing down. How do we know that a TOWS matrix is required? This is the answer. Okay. Now, there are certain examination tips and best practices, although these are not required as of now, though I don't think. Okay, this is not required at all. All these are the certain common pitfalls that you should avoid. Providing conclusion without being asked, insufficient depth in financial analysis. These are the certain things that you are supposed to do. Now, I hope this two frameworks that we have covered, that is the SWOT analysis and the TOWS matrix, is clear to all of you. Now, if you guys have any question, feel free to reach out, everyone.